All right, welcome to Sky Garden 2025, week number 6. Really going crazy here. Here is the chive plant, which is doing okay. It's a little droopy because of the heat. Here we have the spring onions or green onions or whatever, bunching onions, whatever you want to call them. Then we have the bell pepper plants. There's 2 in this pot, 2 in this pot, and 1 in this pot. Now the heat has slowed the growth down on these quite a bit, so there are no peppers on there yet. I'm hoping things cool off a little bit in August and we get some peppers. These are the cherry tomatoes, which are growing right up to the ceiling. So I'm going to have to take those buckets out from the bottom and lower them down a little bit and let them keep on growing. Now there's lots of little tomatoes on here. As you can see, there's tons and tons, a whole bunch back there. Little tiny green tomatoes. There's some there, some there. Lots of flowers up top. Same with this one here. Lots of flowers. Lots of little tiny green tomatoes. There's a bunch down there. Now this is a beefsteak slicing tomato. So there's a couple back in there, as you can see. Now these 3 plants, the beefsteaks and the cherry tomatoes, they are what they call indeterminate tomato plants. So they will grow and grow and grow until I either trim them or the frost gets them. In an outdoor in-ground garden, they would get to 6 to 8 feet tall, which is crazy. Now this is Aroma tomato plant. Now it's a determinate tomato, so it will only get so big. It's about at the size it will get. It won't get any bigger than that. There's a couple of tomatoes on there. You can see under there, down here. Now here is the pea plant. As you can see, this wilted plant here. Now there's a bacterial fungus growing in the soil because I used soil from last year, which I shouldn't have done. So what it does is it stops the roots from absorbing water and nutrients, and then eventually the plant just shrivels up and dies. I do still have 1 pea plant back here that's going, but as soon as the roots get infected with that bacteria, it will shrivel up and die too. Now here's another Roma tomato plant. There's a little Roma tomato back there. There's a couple more down here. There you can see it way in there. Again, determinate, won't get any bigger than what it is now. Then we get to the jalapeno peppers. There's 2 jalapenos down there on that plant, a couple down here on this plant, 3 of them right there. Now they're doing pretty well. Now these are the Hungarian peppers. These are sweet peppers. So there's like a few on that plant, a few on that plant, and then a whole bunch of flowers going up top here. Then we have, this is the beans, the yellow beans. I picked a bunch of those off there, as you saw last week. And so there's more coming on there now. Now this guy down here, I had to take this guy out of the sun because the sun just wilts the crap out of it. So I've taken it out of the sun and hopefully it will come back nicely. I got to start eating some of that because there's way too many in that pot. So there we go for that. This guy here, the sage plant, it is still under quarantine. As you can see, those little white dots on there. See the little white dots? That is called powdery mildew, and that is not a good thing. So I've been spraying the plant. Here's the bottle of spray. with water with a little bit of apple cider vinegar in it. Spray it on there and it kills that powdery mildew because of the acid in the vinegar. Now there is just starting to sprout. Those are regular chives, not garlic chives, regular chives that I got the seeds from a plant on the golf course a couple of weeks ago. So that's it for the outdoor portion of Sky Garden. I'll be right back with the indoor portion. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share with your friends. Okay, here's the indoor portion of the Sky Garden. We have the parsley over here. Got a few brown leaves on there I got to pick off. We have the spearmint, which again still has brown leaves on that I said last week. And here is the rosemary. I picked a bunch of that for my spaghetti sauce, so it's starting to come back. Then we have oregano back here. Then we have the basil plant here. It's going pretty good. And then we have the thyme back here. Now I've started rooting some of these plants. I have the basil plant here, which has got a whole bunch of roots on it. So it's, whoops, didn't mean to do that. It's ready to plant. And the mint plant here, also a whole bunch of roots. Now here's the rosemary plant, which is not growing roots at all. Apparently they don't do very well just putting them in water to grow roots. And then I have a cherry tomato plant here, which again has got a whole bunch of roots on it. It's probably ready to plant up. Now I don't have any room for these plants, so if anybody wants them, I just have to get a little more dirt from the garden center to plant them up in some pots. So if anybody wants a basil plant or a spearmint plant or a cherry tomato plant, let me know and I will pot them up for you. So that's the Sky Garden for week 6. Thanks a lot for watching. Please share, subscribe, ring the bell, and like. And we'll be right back with the harvest for this week. Okay, here's the harvest for this week. I got a few yellow beans and a couple of peas.